Over 2 million years ago, before civilization, before fire ruled the night, a deadly shadow lurked beneath the waters of an ancient African river. Its yellow eyes pierced through the murky depths, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And on the banks of that river, the first true humans, Homo erectus, approached for water, unaware that history's most primal confrontation was about to begin. This was a world both magnificent and merciless. The African plains teemed with life, towering elephants, packs of saber-toothed cats, and vast herds of early antelope. But among them, Homo erectus stood apart. Smarter, stronger, and more adaptable than any creature before. They had discovered the secret of tools, sharp-edged stones that could cut meat or shape wood. One of those monsters was Crocodile Anthropology, the ancient giant crocodile, a predator over 7 meters long, armored like steel, and strong enough to crush bone with a single bite. It had survived countless millennia, unchallenged in its watery domain. But now, for the first time in Earth's history, it faced a rival that could think. In the heat of the afternoon sun, a small tribe of Homo erectus gathered by the river's edge. They moved cautiously, scanning for danger. Their leader, a tall male with a scar over his brow, raised his hand, signaling silence. They had learned the art of cooperation, of working together to survive. Yet beneath the still surface, the crocodile waited. Every ripple, every vibration in water, echoed through its ancient nerves like whispers of opportunity. Then, a splash point, one of the younger males stepped forward to fill a gourd with water. The crocodile's muscles tensed, millions of years of instinct awakened. With a violent surge, it exploded from the water, a wall of teeth and fury. The air filled with screams. The young male vanished beneath the surface, pulled into a whirlpool of blood. The tribe scattered in terror, but their leader did not run. Gripping a sharpened stick, he lunged toward the churning river, shouting a warning cry that echoed through the valley. For the first time, fear and defiance stood face to face. Man had met beast, and the war for dominance had begun. As the sun dipped behind the horizon, silence returned. But the memory of that moment would live on, passed through generations, told around the firelight as a warning. In the struggle between intelligence and instinct, survival would demand more than strength, IT would demand evolution. The river ran silent again, but the hearts of Homo erectus burned with vengeance. The predator that once ruled the waters would now become the hunted. As dawn broke, mist rolled across the savannah. The tribe gathered near the remains of their campfire, their faces painted with ash and determination. The leader, the same scarred male who had faced the crocodile, knelt beside a stone. With slow precision, he struck one rock against another, chipping away until a sharp edge glinted in the light. To communicate through gestures, mimic sounds, and remember patterns. And that morning, they remembered how the beast had struck, from beneath the surface, using stealth and patience. Now, they would do the same. Each carried a weapon, wooden spears hardened by fire, stones sharpened into blades, and bundles of dry grass to ignite as a trap. The giant crocodile lurked nearby, basking beneath the shallow water, its nostrils breaking the surface like two dark stones. It sensed movement but could not yet see its prey. Then, the tribe acted. A loud cry split the air, the sound of one male running into the open, drawing the creature's attention. The crocodile reacted instantly, surging forward with terrifying speed. But this time, it met a wall of fire. The tribe had thrown their burning grass into the river's edge, creating smoke and chaos. The crocodile thrashed in confusion as spears rained down from above. Each strike was calculated, aimed at the creature's eyes, its soft underbelly, its open mouth. The beast roared and snapped, but the humans did not retreat. For the first time in history, cooperation triumphed over brute force. The tribe watched the surface ripple and waited, spears ready. They had not killed the beast, not yet, but they had proven something greater, that mankind could fight back against nature's deadliest monsters. Their leader looked at the river and then at the stars. In that reflection, a spark of awareness glimmered, the beginning of something new. And somewhere in the darkness below, the wounded crocodile drifted, its ancient mind burning with rage. The war between instinct and intellect had only begun. The next encounter would decide who truly ruled the earth. Days passed, and the river grew quiet again. The tribe believed the beast had fled, but in the ancient waters, the wounded predator healed, waiting for vengeance. Under the blistering African sun, Homo erectus had grown bolder. Their hunting range expanded, their fires burned brighter through the night. They no longer approached the river with fear, but with confidence born of survival. Yet nature never forgets, and predators never forgive. Deep below the surface, the giant crocodile, scarred and enraged, began to move once more. Its massive tail swept the mud in silence. Its yellow eyes glowed beneath the surface like twin embers. Each ripple it made was a promise, the promise of blood. That afternoon, when the tribe gathered for water again, everything seemed calm. Birds called from the trees, insects hummed in the air, and the water glistened like glass. But the leader, the scarred male, felt something, a deep instinct tugging at his bones. He raised his hand, signaling the others to stay back. Then the silence broke, the water exploded. The beast erupted from the river like a living nightmare, jaws wide, its roar shaking the earth. One of the hunters fell instantly, dragged into the depths. Chaos followed, screams, splashes, the pounding of feet. But this time, the tribe did not scatter. The leader shouted, a guttural sound that echoed across the valley. Fire was their weapon now. Flames roared as torches ignited, smoke thickened, and the crocodile's eyes flickered in confusion. The hunters surrounded it, forming a circle like wolves around a wounded bull. Spears flew, some shattered against its armored hide, others pierced deep into flesh. The creature lunged, catching one of the hunters in its jaws, snapping bone like twigs. The leader charged forward, striking again and again, screaming with fury and grief. Blood stained the water red as man and beast collided in a storm of fire, pain, and defiance. Minutes felt like eternity. The crocodile thrashed wildly, slamming its tail and tearing the earth apart. But the tribe did not stop. Every hunter fought as one. Finally, the leader found his moment. As the beast reared back, he drove a burning spear into its open jaw, pushing with all his strength until the weapon vanished deep into the creature's skull. A deafening roar echoed, then silence. Steam rose from its body as the fire hissed and faded. The river that once belonged to the crocodile now belonged to them. The tribe gathered around their fallen foe. They did not cheer, they did not dance. They simply watched in awe. For in that moment, they understood what had changed forever. It was not just the death of a predator, it was the birth of dominance. The dawn of humanity's reign had begun. And though countless beasts would rise and fall after, that battle, between Homo erectus and the giant crocodile, would mark the moment when fear turned into power, and survival became destiny. The river no longer whispered of death. Its waters, once ruled by fangs and shadows, now reflected the dawn of something new, the dawn of mankind's courage. From that day forward, the world itself would never be the same. The tribe of Homo erectus stood upon the banks, watching smoke rise from the dying fire. Yet within those silent remains, history had been rewritten. For the first time, a creature had faced the apex predator of its world, and won. The river that once belonged to the beast now belonged to the thinkers, the toolmakers, the dreamers. That night, as the tribe gathered around the fire, they began to speak in new ways. Homo erectus spread beyond the valley. The fire that once kept away the darkness became a symbol of power. The tools once used to hunt became instruments of creation. But deep within their shared memory, one story remained, of the river, the monster, and the courage that defined them. For every human that came after, Homo heidelbergensis, Neanderthal, and eventually Homo sapiens, carried the same flame in their blood, the will to rise above fear. And though the crocodile's kind would still stalk the rivers of Africa, none would ever again command such terror. The age of the beasts was ending, and the age of mankind was beginning. Thousands of years later, when modern humans discovered the fossilized bones of giant crocodiles, they could only imagine the battles of long ago. But deep inside, in that quiet moment of awe, they felt something familiar, a spark of recognition, as if their ancestors still whispered through time. We were there. We faced the darkness, and we endured. The river may have changed its course. The plains may have turned to dust. 2 million years ago, when Homo erectus stood against the impossible, was the moment humanity became unstoppable. The beast was gone, the tribe moved on. But their legacy flowed like the river itself, endless, eternal, and forever reminding the world that intelligence, unity, and courage can triumph even against nature's fiercest predator. This was not just a battle for survival. It was the beginning of us all.